Okay, so you're all very welcome to the Courthouse Singing Sessions in association with the Courthouse Arts Centre in Tinnahealy. Tonight's special guest is the wonderful Wexford balladeer Paddy Berry. So Paddy had his launch of his wonderful collection of Wexford ballads, his third collection, was launched last Sunday. We had a wonderful day, and we're going to hear from Paddy throughout the evening. It's a mixture of songs from Paddy's book. Some of the singers that contributed to the book are here tonight, and we'll hear some songs from Paddy himself. And there's lots of audience members here, singers and people who are listening and enjoying on YouTube. So usually how the evening goes is we call three people at a time. Keep an eye in the comments section where you'll see the next three singers, and any questions or any information about songs you can pop into the comment section. So we'll get started. We welcome Paddy. We'll give him a big boolabus and congratulations for his wonderful book launch on Sunday and all his fabulous contribution to traditional song. Great, Paddy. We're really looking forward to the evening. So what we're going to do, I'm going to ask three singers to start the evening. John Ennis. We're going to start with John Ennis, Porter King and Enrique. So we'll head over to John Ennis. How are you, John? I'll ask you to unmute yourself.
You're receiving?
We're receiving loud and clear.
Jolly good, jolly good. Right, we'll start the evening then with a song from Paddy's newest release, his book, and this is a tribute to his late brother Jack, who was a great jewel player and the star of the Wexford team who secured the All-Ireland back in 1968. It's a tribute to the great Jack Berry, as I said, Paddy's brother. Dark clouds o'erscarred on Cornwall brought tragic news that day. Our great jewel star, Jack Berry, that one had passed away. With memories flashing through my mind, tears flushing eyes to fill, his feet sped on and off the field, I recall so dearly still. In the 68th All-Ireland, he gave a great display. 2 goals, 2 points, which made him the top marksman of the day. Strength and determination was the hallmark of his play. As anybody who doubted this found out to their dismay. I still see the fire in those blue eyes, with the common in his hands, as he took the field for Wexford, or his beloved St. Anne's, and his prowess with the big ball, all Gaelic fans well know. A prolific scorer in both codes, as the record books will show. And when the game was over, and Jack's mighty efforts done, there was always time for dialogue, refreshments and good fun. The matches would be analyzed, debated to and fro, each point of view talked through and through, before homeward we did go. But all too soon he was taken from us, and his loss we still do grieve. But with his family and true friends, united we believe. Time's healing hands will heal the wounds as the summertime draws nigh, and horizons bright will light the night, and let the sun shine by. And though those dark clouds are still looming all around the rat-hanging cross, the memories he left us help to ease our sense of loss. So come all you bright young Wexford stars who grace our national game. When you look for inspiration, Jack Berry is the name. Thank you.
Smashing, John.
Wonderful. Thanks, John. What a wonderful song. Wonderful song. Thanks a million. Now we're going to head over to Pork King. How are you, Pork?
Hello, Rachel. And,
How are you?
thanks for asking me. And congratulations to you, Paddy, on your big night, the launch of your book. Well done. I'm going to sing a Wexford song.
Good.
Carrie River. As I rode out one evening in the pleasant month of May, it was down by Carrie River I carelessly did stray, where the hawthorn and the sweet briar they would your heart illume, and the rippling of the waters when the frockens were in bloom. It's well I do remember when together we would roam through the lovely dells of Carrick, where the woodcock makes his home, where all nature it seems smiling along each rocky side, and the silvery stream flows down between to join the Slaney tide. We oft times go to view the place where our comrades they do lie, where oft we joined in harmless sport in days now long gone by. Our hearts were young, we knew no care, as through the fields we strayed, but in vain that they have passed away, where oft times we have played. 'Tis oft time that within regrets we think of things we've seen. We have lived the past, but can't forget or mourn what might have been. As we strayed along, the bird's sweet song was ringing in the sky o'er the lonely graves of Carrig, where our 98 men lie. The thoughts of you, sweet Carrig, are constant in my mind. I have roamed this wide world over, your equal I can't find. Your lofty trees and waterfalls, it's them I do adore. So fare thee well, sweet Carrig, adieu forevermore. Ne.
Lovely
Lovely,
work.
sorry.
Lovely, really lovely. Great. Brilliant. So next we're going to head to Anne Reiki.
Yeah, there's Anne.
Hi Anne. There's Anne there.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Anne.
I'll sing a Scottish song, but it does mention Ireland in it.
Very good.
That should be okay. Oh, come on, ye tramps and hawker lads, ye gatherers of blaw, that tramp the country round and round, come listening and all. I'll tell to ye of and tell o' sic that I seen far up unto the snowy north and south by Gretna Green. Of times I've laughed and ta'en mysel as I trudge along the road, wi' a bag o' tow upon my back, my face as brown as a toad, wi' lumps o' cake and totty scones, with cheese and braxy ham. No gien a thocht frae whar I've come, unless to whar I'm gone. I've seen the high Ben Nevis as towering to the moon. I've been by Crieff and Calendar and run by Bonnie Doon. I've been by Nether's silvery tide and places ill to ken, for up until the snowy north lies our Hurt's fairy glen. I've done my share o' humping with the dockers on the Clyde, and I've helped on buchy trawlers all the heading o'er the side. I helped to build the mighty bridge that spans the busy Forth, and wi' money and Angus farmer's rig I plewed the bonny earth. Oh, I'm happy in the summertime beneath the bright blue sky. No thinking in the morning what at night I'll hae to lie. In barn or byre or anywhere, even out among the hay. Aye, and if the weather treats me recht, I'm happy every day. But I think I'll gan to Paddy's land. I'm making up my mind. Oh, per Scotland's fairly altered new, and I can't raise the wind. But I will trust in Providence, and if Providence prove true, then I'll sing to ye, O Erin's Isle, when I come back to you. Thank you.
John was gorgeous, Anne.
It was wonderful, Anne. Gorgeous song.
Really lovely.
Gorgeous, really lovely. A lovely start to the evening. And I've popped the next three singers' names into the chat, but just in case you haven't noticed them, Vince Hearns, Bernie and Gavin Byrne. So Vince, we're going to head over to you, and are you going to sing one of the songs from Paddy's book?
Oh no, I'll let you buy the book. No, I'm going to sing a song about an event that occurred here in Sligo, where I live at the foot of Knocknarea Mountain. We sometimes refer to it as Glór na Down, as Congan na Draw, the sound of the waves in the nearness of the beach. The particular incident in question occurred sometime around the year 561, and it's referenced in an Ála Rig and the Herd and the Annals of the Four Masters. And the song itself will tell that story. By the way, it's probably the first instance ever of plagiarism or breach of copyright. Come, students of history, legend and mystery, maybe you'll listen a while unto me. About scholars and saints, about portraits and paints, about courts and complaints, and of deeds right and wrong. It concerns Columkill, whom we speak about still. So great was his skill at the writing of words. And Finian, the friend he deceived in the end. And the books that they penned, and the crossing of swords. When Finian came home from his visit to Rome, he was lugging the hunk of the book in his trunk. No meter could measure the depth of his pleasure, as he teased with his treasure each envious monk. The ornamentation caused such a sensation, all the saints of the nation, they came for a look. And the text was so thrilling, it caused Columkill to inquire, was he willing to lend him the book? With the book in his sack, Columkill hit the track, and he never looked back till he came to Drumcliff. went into his cell and he rang for St. Mel, saying, rub me down well, for me muscles are stiff. And when you've done with that caper, I'll soak in the vapor, then bring tracing paper, a quill and a light, and bring my old noggin for drinking me groggin, for I think I'll start coggin the same very night. Oh, the scratch and the clink of the pen and the ink made poor Colum sink to the depths of the teeth. And unknown to the author, the book bore a daughter that later called slaughter and terrible grief. Now, if you're still curious, St. Finian was furious to learn how this spurious copy arose. On revenge he was bent, so to Tara he went, the High King to acquaint with the cause of his woes. I'm High King of Eire, from Belfast to Beara, and I'm going to declare a solution right now. And the judgment I'll tender will favour the lender. Columkill must surrender the calf to the cow. Columkill said, oh blazes of all the outrages, on saints and on sinners you bait them to stay. And your views are so rigid, you silly old Aegis. I declare to St. Bridget I will not obey. Now the worst was still coming, 'twas that cool drumming. Columkill he did summon his warriors to stand, watching out o'er the bay till around Knocknarea came King Diarmid that day with his warrior band. Round the hill with the pyramid rode mighty King Diarmid, with a spear in his hand amid warriors brave. Who to quote the four masters incurred such disasters, 3,000 poor bastards caught naught but the grave. As he strode through the corpses of soldiers and horses, Columkill's great resources were too much to bear. So great was his worry, he fled in a hurry to reach in his Murray his sins to declare. To Malash he confessed, and you all know the rest. At Malash's request he was forced far to roam. So don't copy this song or it won't be too long, till to Scotland you've gone and you'll never come home.
Ah, class.
Lovely.
Great song.
Great one, Vince.
Brilliant, Vince. Brilliant, brilliant. Wonderful. Thanks.
Who wrote that again, Vince?
If anyone knows who the author is, I'd be delighted to know. It was given to me by Frank Carter on November the 19th, 2017, and it was collected by Jerry Stewart, brother Angelo. He said he heard it on the radio in 1988. That's as much as I know about it.
That's a great song. Wow. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, Vince. Brilliant. We're going to head over to Barney. How are you, Barney? Ask you to unmute yourself.
Rachel, I'm good. I think my video is dodgy, you know. Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it just seems a bit all
Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you fine. Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Rachel?
Yeah, we can hear you, Barney. Can you?
Okay, I'll turn off the video, okay?
Okay. Okay.
I can hear you well, yeah? I just think the video is dodgy, so I think I should turn off the video.
Yeah, turn off the video and we'll. Perfect. We can still hear you.
You'll have to develop on it. Okay. Oh, God.
We can hear you fine, Barney.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what's going on. Okay, you can hear me all right.
We can hear you
Go
fine,
ahead and
Bernie.
sing
Go
away there.
ahead.
We can hear you
Sing.
fine.
Okay. I'm going to do an old Dublin one, Dublin in My Tears. It was written by a fella called Berry, Paddy Berry. Paddy Berry, sorry. Brendan Phelan. Shit, it's acting up.
Is it that much more clear?
No, no, it's there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Barney. Go ahead.
I don't think they can hear me. Okay, I'll go ahead. Okay, it's Brendan Phelan wrote this. I have travelled many lands, but I still can't understand how sad you have become on my return. Your poor heart is filled with care. Sad and old, they left you there. Your once bright eyes with sorrow softly burn. I can even sense the change in the sound of children's games. Childhood dreams of youth ambitions have all turned to doubts and fears. It's an age of youth, I'm told, for I never felt so old as I recall old Dublin in my tears. All the faces that I meet as I roam each one-way street reflect the empty statements of the times. And the old cathedral bell can't be heard above the swell, for the years erase the message in her chimes. All my childhood friends have gone, like the streets where we were born, and the time that it has taken doesn't seem so many years. They have faded in the gloom, with Sab Kelly of the Coombe, just a ghost of dear old Dublin in my tears. There were times when jobs were few. There were hungry days we knew. Some days so bad their memory I've cursed. And the prayer I said to God there on board the Princess Maud, that our children would restore the pride we lost. But the past the young forsake, as they're dancing at your wake, while the heart of Dublin's dying, but nobody really cares. And the fools as they pass by laugh to see an old man cry. Now I can't forget old Dublin in my tears. Gather round, our friends and true, though our numbers may be few. We'll drink one toast before I cross the foam. For soon in London's dark domain, I recall how I became no more a stranger there than here at home. the Liffey flows along, as I listen for her song, while the voice of big Jim Larkin seems to echo in my ears, but it's just the rafters ring. To his requiem I'll sing, farewell to dear old Dublin in my tears. Farewell to dear old Dublin in my tears. Sinead, I hope you heard it all right.
Well done, Bernie.
Lovely, Bernie.
Lovely, really lovely. Thanks, Bernie. We're going to head down south to Gavin Byrne. How are you, Gavin?
Not too bad, lads. Lovely evening. Right, Paddy.
Turn off your video.
I'll try a song called My Little Field of Beat that comes out of Paddy's book as well. It's a song Leo Carty carried for a long time, one of his favourites. I'm a poor distracted farmer, sure I'm living down a lane, and I get a lot of hardship digging through the wind and rain. I tramp through muck and slush all day with bad things on me feet, ploughing a field in Ladies Island where I'm going to sow some beet. At the loading of the beet, at the loading of the beet, we'll have sprongs upon our shoulders at the loading of the beet. They have given us a guarantee to pay £5 a ton, but the railway gets the most of it when all is said and done. I work so hard the whole day long, it makes me gnash my teeth to think of all them bright boys making money on me beat. I often think that I'm a fool, and this I really fear. I'll be a bloomin' cripple if I thin another year. I really get demented dragging through the snow and sleet, keeping big boys flying in motors, going around inspecting beat. At the loading of the beat, at the loading of the beat, we'll have sprongs upon our shoulders at the loading of the beat. There's lads with wristlet watches in Thurles and in Tuam, in Carlow and in Mallow, sitting in a heated room, with biro pens behind their ears and carpets at their feet, drawn £200 wages, that all comes from my beat. They'll send us down fine lorries, sure they'll charge an awful rate. The poor old nag and trap car are completely out of date. Where does this money come from when the railway pays the fleet? I'm sure you know the answer from my little field of beet. At the loading of the beet, at the loading of the beet, we'll have sprongs upon our shoulders at the loading of the beet. But we will keep on working still and set old Ireland free. We don't want imported sugar in our little cup of tea. We'll grow our own, although we moan to others when we meet. Let us hope that we will prosper with £5 a ton for beet. If the railway calls another strike, with them we'll take no part. We'll yoke once more the old grey mare and bank it in the cart. They can keep their railway stations, then no more they'll brag or boast. We'll get the Rosslare lifeboat and we'll bring it round the coast. At the loading of the beat, at the loading of the beat, we'll have sprongs upon our shoulders at the loading of the beat. G'day.
Well done, Gavin.
Well done, Gavin. Gorgeous. Lovely song. We really put it on the CD. Great. Brilliant. Thanks a million. And before we head to our special guest, Paddy Berry, we're going to sing our song that Paddy gave us. It's a song called My Seven Sweethearts. And when Paddy gave it to us, it was we had lots of laughs and giggles about the fact that the man in the song is picking all the good bits from all his different sweethearts to make this perfect woman. So we had a few giggles about that. The air that we decided on, it was pretty unanimous, is because of the counting, Spanish Lady came to mind, and it was a lively air, so we felt it works. So we'll give it a go, and thanks to Paddy for giving us this song to work on together. We really enjoyed it. So are we ready? Do we have our note? I'm strangely puzzled which to woo. They're all so fair and all so many. Maria's face I think would do, had she the laughing eyes of Nanny. And what could vie with Nanny's eyes? They'd melt all Russia through and through, if their sweet lids would only rise beneath the brows of little Sue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sweethearts which to woo. They're all so fair and oh so pretty, that's the puzzle of my ditty. With playful look and brow so fair, might soothe the sternest heart trepan. Had she the calm commanding air and graceful form of Marianne, and well might Marianne excel with such a mild bewitching mien. But oh, he loves how doubly well had she the glowing neck of Jean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sweethearts which to woo. They're all so fair and oh so pretty, that's the puzzle of my ditty. And oh, for Jean, what stoic heart might not the sweet seducer win? Could she but steal by any heart the dimple from Eliza's chin? Or all might fair Eliza hold her beauteous head an Irish queen. Had she the locks of flowing gold, or tempting lips of Evelyn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sweethearts which to woo. They're all so fair and oh so pretty, that's the puzzle of my ditty. 'Tween Evelyn, Eliza, Sue, Jean, Marianne, Marie and Nanny, with charms of every shape and hue, and all so fair and all so many, with cheeks of all the veriest dyes, with eyes of black and brown and blue, with lips and necks of every size. I'm strangely puzzled which to woo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 sweethearts which two. They're all so fair and oh so pretty. That's the puzzle of my ditty. Sinead?
You're good.
Oh, well done.
That was lovely altogether.
It's a lovely, lovely song, and we're loving singing it now. And we put a little chorus to it. So Paddy suggested we sing the chorus after every verse, and we did that for you there tonight, Paddy. So makes it a bit longer, but it works really well. Lovely. Thanks a million, everyone. So we're going to head over to our special guest, Paddy Berry, who launched his book, as you all know, the 3rd collection of Wexford ballads, A Right Gift for Us All. Hi, Paddy.
Hello, folks.
How are you?
How are you, Rachel?
We're
Great.
good.
I'm feeling great.
Well,
I'm
you're
in good
great.
company. I'm in good company with you tonight.
We're delighted to have you, Paddy. Delighted to see you and have you here this evening. So we'll hand it over to you.
Very good. I'll start with a well-known song that I've been singing over the years. It's a song about our great hurler, Nicky Rackard. Now, Nicky Rackard is somebody well-known even to the present generation. And of course, we learned during the week in some publication that he held the record of the most scores in an inter-county match. He scored 7 goals and 7 points against Moraid Walls County Antrim. Hello, Moraid. Anyway, here it goes. The golden sun lights up Mount Leinster's purple heather banks, and its furze bush through the black turf bogs shine out like amber lamps. In hallowed earth beneath the shade of Rocky Mountain crest, the greatest gale of Wexford plays his last and lonely rest. The sunlight and the purple heat, proud colours that he wore, on many's the field of battle in the happy days of yore, when thousands by his deeds were thrilled as Wexford rose to fame, and Croke Park stands re-echoed loud with Nicky Rackard's name. And well they knew his giant frame, his deeds of strength they cheered, and his 21s like cannonballs, the greatest goal men feared. His teammates spurred to heights not reached since distant 1910. Through Hurling's Hall of Fame made Wexford's name ring out again. As the golden sun through black turf beams, a beacon shining bright, for the spirit of Nicky Rackard set his native hills alight, and blazed a trail of glory to be followed evermore by the men who wore the black and amber jerseys from Rathnure. Now he gave the young men dreams to dream, the old men tales to tell. To the youth he gave the Rackard League, their skills to nurture well. From Cork's steep hills to Anthem's glens, from east to western shore, they knew the name and fame of Nicky Rackard from Rathnure. Sleep on, brave soul, kind heart be still, oh gallant spirit rest. For beneath the shade of Leinster is the land you love the best. While the golden sun lights up the purple heath and black turf moor, Nick Rackard's name will surely shine in Wexford forevermore.
Very good, Paddy. Very good.
Wonderful, wonderful song. Great. Really enjoyed that, Paddy.
Gur magat, gur mile magat.
What you wrote. So,
Am I to sing again, or what's the story?
yeah, do you want to sing another one for us, and then we can move back to the floor?
Well, if you say so, Rachel.
Yeah, that's well. No, it's your night. You're the boss. You're
I'm
the boss.
When John Ennis sang the first song there about my brother Jack,
Yeah.
it was written by a great friend of us going to Fhaoláin years ago, Martin McCann, who now resides in a nursing home down in Campile. It was many a good day we had. And he also wrote this one too, which I picked up from back in the 60s. Draw, draw near me, youthful Irishmen, if you can spare the time. I pray you pay attention now and listen to my rhyme. I left my home in Dublin in the year of 63 to live in County Wexford in a place called Bunclody. 'Twas there I spent some happy days when I was in my teens. We rambled round the country with the boys and the fair colleens. We went to thrashings and to wakes, both near and far away. But most of all I do recall Bunclody on fair day. Often on a winter's morning at the hour of 6 o'clock, we would set out for Bunclody to try and sell some stock. Although great hardships we endured, yet we were always gay, for we always did look forward to Bunclody on fair day. The streets were full by 8 o'clock, they came from all around. From Carlow, Tullow, Baltinglass, and far off Wexford town. They came from the south of the country too, round Kilmore on Broadway. For to make a deal they'd never fail in Bunclody on fair day. We'd have our business finished before 12 o'clock came round. And when we had our dinner got, we'd roam around the town. We'd meet with our friends and neighbours and the ladies along the way, for to make a date in the evening late in Bunclody on fair day. The three-card trickman did his act down on the market square, and although it was against the law, he came to every fair. There were stalls for clothes and novelties, and tents for cake and tea, and plenty of amusement in Bunclody on fair day. But those happy days are past and gone, and the fair day is no more. The cattle mart and the big sheep stall, sure they have taken o'er. But I often think of those grand old times, be night time and be day. But most of all I do recall Bunclody on fair day. Sinead.
Hey.
Sinead. And God bless Martin.
Very good,
I was talking to Martin earlier this evening. And sure, I was telling him that I was going on Zoom tonight, and he said to me, "What's Zoom?" So that's the way it goes. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Paddy. Thank you, Paddy. The lyric there stuck out for me. We'll have our business done by 12 o'clock. So hopefully that'll apply tonight too, that we can get through everybody. Thanks a million. We'll come back to you as we go through the night. But thank you, Paddy, for those wonderful songs. Thank you. It was wonderful. I popped in the comments box the next three, Paul O'Reilly, Phil O'Connor and Michael O'Leary. So we'll head over to Paul O'Reilly.
Thanks, Rachel.
How are you?
Hello. I'll do a lively number. It's in Paddy's book. It's called The Ballad of Jim Hawkins, and I came across it a few months ago during COVID, and I never got Tom. It was written by Tom Williams, who wrote many great songs, and I never got to meet Tom. So the background story is that Jim Hawkins's house was bombed in 1940 during the World War by one of the stray German pilots, and there was a few places around Wexford and up around the Carlow border that was bombed. But Tom Williams wrote this back in '81 for the Aisha McCall Festival, and it's a more humorous interpretation of the event. And I didn't know this, but Paddy says at the end here that part of the bomb casing is in the possession of yours truly. So, oh, he's gone. Anyway, Paddy mightn't like this. Anyway, this is a song called The Ballad of Jim Hawkins by Tom Williams. It's not actually on the CDs, so but the lyrics are in the book. He lived near Tullycanna, and Jim Hawkins was his name. And when the war broke out, sure, he just carried on the same. He didn't know Adolf Hitler, but Hitler knew about him. For he'd heard his stolen melodeon had been bought by Jim. Now Hawkins was a 10-key man, and this I can relate, that he bought a Horner melodeon from a German trawler mate. He didn't know 'twas stolen, although it looked brand new, and he's played at wakes and weddings since 1932. Hawkins, get up from the fire, get up before it is too late. There's a great big German bomber flying o'er your garden gate. It was sent by Adolf Hitler to put an end to you, 'cause you've been playing his melodeon since 1932. One morning Jim was cooking spuds, his hand was on the fan. Yes, Jim was independent and a self-sufficient man. The bacon was on the table, the cabbage in the pot, and the great big mug of dark brown tea was steaming hot. The German pilot was nearly lost when he passed the sign for Scar, and when he saw Nellie Esmonds, sure he knew he hadn't far. So he changed gear or fiddled round, or whatever pilots do, as the home of brave Jim Hawkins came slowly into view. Hawkins, get up from the fire, get up before it is too late. There's a great big German bomber flying o'er your garden gate. It was sent by Adolf Hitler to put an end to you, 'cause you've been playing his melodeon since 1932. Oh, the bomb fell by the cottage, and the spuds broke every plate. The fan went up the chimney, and the bacon hit the grate. So Jim got his melodeon, 'cause he didn't like bacon fried. And as his home began to fall, he played the Slaney side. The neighbours came from near and far to see the awful sight, and they cheered the great Jim Hawkins, who survived the German might. The roof was down, there was smoke all round, and the walls they were gone. But Jim sat on his stool and played his old melodeon. Hawkins, get up from the fire, get up before it is too late. There's a great big German bomber flying o'er your garden gate. It was sent by Adolf Hitler to put an end to you, 'cause you've been playing his melodeon since 1932. Now Hawkins had a bantam cock, he kept it by the door, and when the German bomber struck, it flew off towards Carnsore. Now you might not believe this yarn, you'll swear that I'm a liar, but that bantam cock is still up there on top of Rose Street spire. Oh, Hawkins, get up from the fire, get up before it is too late. There's a great big German bomber flying o'er your garden gate. It was sent by Adolf Hitler to put an end to you, 'cause you've been playing his melodeon since 1932. Jeanette.
Lovely.
Just a
That's just
a word about
wonderful.
Jim Hawkins. I was lucky enough to know Jim Hawkins, and Paddy will remember we were at a session somewhere south of Wexford one time many years ago, and Jim Hawkins was in the pub, and there was and I can't think of the man's name that came in, but he was an adversary of Hawkins, and Jim leaned over to some of us and he said, "This man, by the way, he was very cross-eyed," and Hawkins looked over at him coming in. He said, "Will you look at him?" He said, "A head on him," he said, "like a hen looking into a bottle." He was a bit
Good turn of phrase that.
It's wonderful to hear it, you know, because I haven't heard the air to it, so that's wonderful. That you sang that, Marianne. Thanks.
Tom, that's Tom Williams put that air to it, so that's and it works really well.
Yeah, it does. It's really good. It's a really fun song. Yeah, really lovely. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Seamus. Okay, where are we heading now? We're heading to Phil O'Connor.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening. How are you?
How are you doing?
Very well. I'm afraid I'm going to sing a very different song. It's one I got from Vince Hernd. It's a traveller, recordings from travellers that he recorded. It's called The North Strand. It's a version, I suppose, of False Lover John. Oh, a pretty young boy came from the North Strand. He came a-wooing to me. He promised to bring me back to the North Strand, and married we would be. Oh, get some of your mother's feed and more of your daddy's gold, and to the best horses he has in his stable, of which there are 33. Now she got some of her mother's feed and more of her daddy's gold, and to the best horses he has in his stable, of which there are 33. Oh, she got up on a milk-white steed, and he on a dappled grey. They rode along unto the North Strand, was 3 long hours before day. Get down, pretty Polly, he said. Get down and get down to me. 'Tis 6 little girls that I drowned here, and you are the 7th shall be. Oh, your silks and your satins, you must take them off and deliver them up to me. I think they're too rich and too grand, said he, to roll in the rocky bright waves. Oh, my silk and my satins, I must take them off. Please turn your back to me. I think you're too big of a ruffian, she said, to see a naked woman like me. He turned his back from the North Strand to watch all those waves going by. She gripped him around the middle so high and flung him right into the deep. Oh, he swam high and he swam low, till he swam right to the seashore. Put out your hand, pretty Polly, he said, and certain I'll make you my bride. Oh, stop where you are, you cruel-hearted lad. Stop where you are, said she. 'Tis 6 little girls that you drowned here, and you are the 7th shall be. Oh, she got upon her milk-white steed, and she leaded her dapple grey. She rode along to her father's hall door, 'twas 3 long hours before day. Who's that? Who's that? Her father did cry, that rattles so long before day. 'Tis I, your daughter did cry, that safely comes home for to stay. Sinead.
Lovely, Phil.
Lovely, Phil. Lovely, lovely,
Lovely.
lovely song. Well done. Thanks a million. Thanks a million. We're going to head over to Michael O'Leary. How are you, Michael?
I'm good, thank you, Rachel and John and everyone. Paul, I love that song, and it reminded me of a story told by John Campbell. I think his name was John Campbell. He was an Ulster man. He would sometimes paired up with Len Graham, and they would do songs and stories. And the two of them came to our singers club in Boston years ago. And he told, some of you may have heard it. I won't go into it, but it's the story of the German spy, the agent who comes to Ireland, and he has to make connection with his contact named Paddy Murphy, and he has a hard time doing it. So I'm going to sing a song that I heard a while ago, just driving along and listening to some Liam Clancy, and this song just kind of stopped me in my tracks, and so I've learned it. And yesterday being the 223rd anniversary of the passing of Wolfe Tone, it's a song that I'm sure you all know. It's actually, I think it was probably originally a poem by Thomas Davis, and then turned into a song. I've heard different melodies to it, and here you go. In Bowden town's churchyard there is a green grave, and wildly around it the winter winds rave. Small shelter, I ween, are the ruined walls there, when the storm sweeps down on the plains of Kildare. Once I lay on that sod, it lies over Wolfe Tone, and thought how he perished in prison alone, his friends unavenged, and his country unfreed. Oh, bitter, I cried, is the patriot's meed. Then an old man who saw I was mourning there said, we come for to weep where young Wolfe Tone is laid. We are going to raise him a monument too, a plain one yet fit for the simple and true. My heart overflowed, and I clasped his old hand. I blessed him and blessed everyone in his band. How sweet 'tis to find that such faith can remain in the cause and the man so long vanquished and slain. In Bowden town's churchyard there is a green grave, and wildly around it let the winter winds rave. Far better they suit him, the ruin and the gloom, until Ireland, a nation, can build him a tomb.
Lovely.
Lovely all together.
Lovely, Michael.
Gorgeous,
Lovely.
Michael.
Lovely. Lovely.
Gorgeous.
Thanks a million, Michael. Loved that. Thanks. We're heading over to Rita Gallagher, just in case people didn't see the names. Rita Gallagher, John O'Byrne and Mary O'Brien. Hi, Rita.
Hello, Rita, and hello, John. Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm a bit late. We had a visitor, so
All right.
I had to get rid of them first. And thanks. Really joking. I missed a good hour of singing. Anyway, I'll sing, I don't know what has been sung so far, but I'm going to try and sing My Bonnie Blue-Eyed Lassie. How can I live at the top of a mountain with no money in my pocket and no gold for the counting? But I would let the money go, all for to please her fancy, and I would marry no one but my bonny blue-eyed lassie. She's my bonny blue-eyed lassie, with an air so sweet and tender, her walk like swan that floats, and her waist so small and slender. Her golden hair in ringlets fair hung o'er her snow-white shoulder, and I'd ask her for to marry me, and there's no man could be bolder. But there's some people say she is very low in station, and other people say she'll be the cause of my ruination. But let them all say as they will, to her I will prove constant still, till the day that I die. She will be my own lovely lady. Lightly swims the swan o'er the dark waters of Hull, and blithely sings the nightingale, so happy to behold her. The winds may blow, the moorcocks crow, the moon can shine so deeply, but deeper by far is my love for my own lady. She's my bonny blue-eyed lassie, with an air so sweet and tender, her walk like swan that floats, and her way so small and slender. Her golden hair in ringlets fair falls o'er her snow-white shoulder, and I'd ask her for to marry me, and there's no man could be bolder. Tonight.
Well done, Rita. Well done.
Lovely, Rita.
Thanks very much.
Rita. We're going to head over to John O'Byrne and Mary. Hi, John. How are you?
A little bit patchy, but we'll...
So, hopefully this will work. I'm going to sing Blue, which is one of the songs in that I recorded for Paddy Berry from Branston's collection of songs for Expert Post.
John, before you start, it's very, I know your connection is very bad for you this evening. Do you want to try turn off the camera maybe, and we could hear you better? Sometimes it works for the connection. Do you want to try?
How's that?
I think it's a little bit better. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
No, it's
still quite bad.
It's breaking up. Is everybody else hearing that broken? Yeah, it is. It is very bad, John. We can't hear you.
Something wrong with the actual laptop. No, it's the microphone. It's not it, yeah.
Is Mary's any better, I wonder?
Yeah, we'll try Mary. We'll go to Mary and try Mary's.
Okay, I'm going to go on with Mary's try.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
yeah, yours
better.
is much better, Mary. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
We'll come over here and
Can you hear
sing on
me?
this one. You come over here and sing on this one.
Yeah.
Did that work? I wonder.
That would be perfect.
Technology is complicated.
That's better.
No wonders of bleeding technology.
Yeah, well, it's great. That's perfect.
This might not be perfect though. We can try. On the 18th of August in this present year, the fair do and her crow down her Osclair did steer.
The wind, it was high, but the weather was grand, and the view of the race was tip-top from the strand. Now we left the fair do at the pierhead one night, and to our surprise, sure she was their delight. They moulded her model and measured her mast, and they said between themselves, sure we'll build one as fast. Now the pier and Rosslare men were there in their cots. The big bugs were sailing around in their yachts. But the crowd down from Wexford all gave a hurrah when they saw Eddie Daly trying out the fair do. When we went to get measured, we all got a fright. Your man on the job would not pull the tape tight. 21 feet 3 inches, he shouted out clear. She'd stretched 5 inches more since we sailed to the pier. Now the Spitfire's coxswain, he got a bit hot when he saw the fair do overhauling his cot. He hauled twice across us, saying, I'll not let you out. But we bid him goodbye when we hove her about. When we got to the windwards, oh boys, it was grand to see the fair do beaten in for the strand. When we turned the last buoy and the homeway was clear, the Spitfire still had her head to the pier. Now he lodged an objection soon after the race, although his fast cut couldn't take second place. We'll meet him again when we'll saw her in two, and we'll bring back the cup in that clipper fair do. And now I will give you the name of the crew: Eddie Daly, John Welsh, and his brother Jim too. When we passed by the flag boat, the cheering was great, and the Spitfire passed in 4 minutes too late. When we brought her ashore and stepped out on the strand, the boys down from Wexford shook us all by the hand. It was a great race, boys, but between me and you, I doubt but the steam in that clipper fair do. Jenny, woo! There's a story that has to fair do.
I had the book, I was following the lyrics, and I was thinking, how are you going to remember all those verses? But you did, no bother. Very impressed.
There's a good story attached to that boat, actually. It was a very well-known race and caught here in Modlin Town in Wexford. And there's a line in the song where he said, we'll meet again when we saw her in two. And the boat was actually sawn in two many years later in a dispute over ownership.
Really?
Someone wanted to buy the boat. One guy said, yeah, I'll sell. The other fella wouldn't. So he cut the boat in half, and it lay off on the side of the bank for years afterwards. There you go. I'll let Mary back here now. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh. Right, Mary.
Hello.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks for that, Pat.
That's musical chairs here. Nice. This is a song that's from Paddy's book that he asked me to put an air to, and I had 2 ideas for an air, and so I'll sing the one that's higher. And hopefully I'll make the high notes anyway. We'll see. Farewell to Wexford, it's called. Upon the vessel's deck I stand and watch the shore recede from view. I see the hills and mountains grand, the distant spires, the skies of blue. While speeds the goodly ship away, the burning tears come trickling down, and deep within my heart I say, farewell, farewell, sweet Wexford town. Farewell, the bright and happy hours, the sunny days of long ago. The woods, the glens, the meads, the flowers, the loving hearts I'll ne'er more know. No pressed by sickness, toil and care, and bent beneath misfortune's frown, I breathe an exile's fondest prayer for Erin and for Wexford town. On Slaney's banks at close of day, companions of my youth will roam, while I most wander far away from country, friendship, love, and home. No more I'll see the sunbeams light our smiling fields or mountains brown. With saddened soul I bid good night to Erin and to Wexford town. The lamplight gleams around the bay, a haze falls o'er the tranquil sea, the shore recedes and melts away, and dimmer grows beloved sleep we. The freshing breeze swells out the sail, the sun is set, the night comes down. Adieu, adieu, dear Innisfail, farewell, farewell to Wexford town. Thanks, Paddy. Thanks, Rachel. Thank you.
Lovely, Mary.
Lovely, Mary.
And I'm so glad that the internet held out.
Yeah.
It was well worth it. Thanks a million
Absolutely.
to yourself and John. We're going to head back to our special guest, Paddy Berry. Going to ask you to unmute yourself, Paddy.
Unmute myself, yes. Am I okay now?
You're great.
Loud and clear.
Yes. That last song that Mary sang there was a song written by a Balamiti man.
Okay.
A reverend gentleman by the name of Paul Kehoe. He passed away back in 1931. His ballad or song there was reckoned to be his best. And I'm delighted that Mary put an air to it, because we can now have it in circulation if possible. The song that I'm going to sing is a song that I learned when I was a very young boy. And it's one of those songs that's been heard over and over and over again in all parts of the world, let alone the county. And it's a song, every time I see it written down or even sung, I sit there with my mouth open, looking at it. I'm like somebody in a portrait gallery looking at the Mona Lisa. It's the very same effect on me. I just bowl over by it every time. And I sang it when I was a young lad, but I'm going to sing it now. And you'll all know the song. It's a song called The Rocks of Bong. Oh, come all you loyal heroes and listen unto me. Don't hire with any master till you know what your work will be. For you must rise up early, and from the clear daylight till the dawn, or you never will be able for to plough the rocks upon. My shoes, they are well worn now, and my socks are getting thin, and my heart is always trembling for fear that I might give in. My heart is almost breaking now from the clear daylight of the dawn, and I'm afraid that I won't be able for to plough the rocks upon. My curse upon you, Sweeney, for you have me nearly robbed, and you're sitting by your own fireside with your Eugene in your gown. You're sitting by your own fireside until the clear daylight of the dawn, and I'm afraid that you won't be able for to plough the rocks upon. So rise up, gallant Sweeney, and give your horses hay, and give them a goodly feed of oats before you start away. Don't feed them on soft mashes, put them out on yon green lawn, and 'tis then you might be able for to plough the rocks upon. Oh, I wish the Sergeant Major would send for me in time, and place me in some regiment, all in my youth and prime. I'll fight for Ireland's glory then, from the clear daylight of the dawn, and I never will return again to plough the rocks upon. Sinead.
Lovely.
That's the song. Yeah.
Lovely, Paddy.
The song as I can't use the word now, but I'll find it tomorrow and I'll write to everybody and tell them what it is. A song that reminds me of the Mona Lisa. There's Marianne. Hello, Marianne. How are you?
Anyway, you mentioned Marianne after you mentioned the Mona Lisa.
Yes, like looking at Marianne. And there's another old friend of mine down the line there. I just picked her up a minute ago, Alberta Layton, all the way from Indianapolis. Imagine that. Came to my book launch last week. I was so thrilled to see her. Well done, Alberta. Well done.
It's lovely.
The next one I'm going to sing is a song from the 1815, and it's a song called the Clohaman Mill. And it's Clohaman being near Bunclody. I spoke to Father Wall, the great historian, many years ago about this, to know did he know anything about this famous mill in Clohaman. And he didn't. And he studied the history of Bunclody and published books and articles over the years, but never found out anything about Clohaman. So one day, both of us agreed that where Clohaman Mill in the song is supposed to be an enormous and wonderful piece of architecture, we think now that it may have been written by some poet, a ballad maker, about something that was very small and insignificant. And he wrote these magnificent words to it, I shall find as I go through the song. So here is a song in praise of Clohaman Mill, near Bunclody. You gods of brilliant genius that's endowed with elocution and by versification have immortalized your name. Revive my drooping intellect, I pray of a contribution of assistance while I harmonize with eloquence my theme. Forgive me not for rashness to attempt impossibilities, though I am stimulated by a motive of goodwill. Though an inexperienced tyro in the dawn of native literature, I intend to state the praises of Clohaman's brand new mill. This magnificent structure of divine architecture was built in Anno Domini 18 and 16, when by final perseverance it was brought to an accomplishment. Its like was seldom ever seen in Erin the Green. To give a good idea about its spaciousness and symmetry is far beyond the limits of my feeble poet's pen. But in every direction 'tis a bulwark of perfection. Hibernia's boast and glory is Clohaman's brand new mill. No wonder I should deem it an object of astonishment when men of great discernment came from near and far to view this lofty building, of which it is related that it was prognosticated by a great fiery star. These grand configurations, the beauty of creation, was brought to calculation by astronomical skill. 'Twas perspicuously expounded and foretold there would be founded near the town of Newtown Barry an admirable mill. Now the gentry of this country for rural recreation, the sweet meandering banks of the Slaney do serenade, where the paintings of nature are arranged in true reality, and the white trout is abounding in each crystal cascade. When on this noble building you feast your curiosity and view each grand invention of artifice and skill, the critical machinery and curious elevation obtained great approbation for Clohaman's brand new mill. There you are now. There's as many big words in it as there is big stones in it. Hello, Alberta. Did you get home all right? Very good. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Paddy. I'm guessing then your conclusions are that it wasn't as nice a building as the song suggested.
Yeah, and there is a big mill there at the present time. Must be 6 or 7 or 8 stories.
Okay.
And the trap that we all fell into many years ago was that was the mill that was the song was written about. But actually, we learned later that song was written, that mill was built in the late 1800s, sometime around 1890 or whatever. So we knew that there must have been another mill there. Perhaps it was a little thatched hut with a bag of meal in it. So, okay.
Thanks, Paddy.
Say hello to all my friends there along the way too. Sure, we met a lot of them last week, and hopefully we'll meet again.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rachel and John. Thank you.
Thank you, Paddy. Thank you.
I'll back to you later on.
We'll be back to you for the last song of the night. But in the meantime, I've popped 3 more names in: Jerry Shannon, Anne Mulhall and Seamus Brogan. So we'll go to Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, you can hear me. Hi, how are you doing?
How are you, Jerry?
Are you enjoying the night?
Lovely, very good. I mean, I'm going to go to the other parts of the country now. I'm going to Kerry, across the way, straight across on the southwest instead of the southeast. The races in Cahers I've been.
Lovely.
'Twas a day in September, I'll always remember. I went with my father to cancel school. It was there on the race course they gathered in great force, the rich man, the poor man, wild boy and tame fool. They were tinkers from Galway as brown as a halfpenny, and a beggar with whiskers the longest I've seen. And the 3-cart trick Johnny, 4 shots for a penny, on the day of the races in Carsiveen. 'Twas the rich Tower of Babel beside the school gable. The bookies were shouting and laying their odds. It would take Atlas O'Hary, our own Stephen Casey, to win through the crowd packed like peas in their pods. There were tents like umbrellas where all kinds of fellas sold dillas and shellfish and juicy crew beans. And the penny peg leg was the size of a peeler on the day of the races in Carsiveen. The jockeys, they sat on their horses like statues. Their fame will remain while the Ferta shall flow. It's my hero pageant I'll pin a bright badge on, with the 2 gallant griffins, Jimmy and John Joe. Dennis Donovan too, from the high barn of Strada, and Courtney St. Brendan were sporting and keen. While Jack Roxburgh's a jingle that could make your blood tingle on the day of the races in Carsiveen. The horses, God bless them, in dreams I caressed them. Those wild things of beauty stole the heart from my side. I watched them fly over the grass and green clover and sweep like the wind east by green rushing tide. They skim the hard bushes, they dance through the rushes, their jockeys arrayed in blue, scarlet and green. 'Twas the world's great wonder to hear their host thunder on the day of the races in Carsiveen. That night men did gather with hearts like feather. Around me gem and banners or a pint at the plough. They toast to the horses who won out their coursing and shouted their praises while time did allow. Here's a hail to you, Terry, O'Neill, pride of Kerry. Likewise, lass from Stossa, the Westland sweet queen. May you grace in high heaven have comfort forever. You're the pride of the races in Carsiveen. My father is gone now, God peace to his ashes. The boys are young men and the old men are dead. There's many a mile between me and the race course, but the hoofs of the horses beat loud in my head. I will give you my oath, I will swap the wide world to bring back those bright days where proud I had been. A lad with his dad on the white road to Carron, that splendid horse racing in cars I've been.
Man, Jerry.
Brilliant, Jerry. Brilliant. Thanks a million, Jerry. Lovely to see you. We're heading over to Anne Mulhall. How are you, Anne?
Good, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Great to see you.
Congratulations to Paddy on his book launch and all the lovely songs that we're hearing out of it tonight. They're wonderful. Most of them new to me, but they're lovely songs. I have to get my hands on a copy of that. So well done with the book, and well done to everyone for all the lovely songs they're singing out of it as well. I'm afraid I don't have a song out of your book, Paddy, but this is a song, it's a nice cheerful song, and it's called Hello Patsy Fagan, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm working here in Glasgow, I've got a decent job. I'm carrying bricks and mortar and my pay is 15 bob. I rise up in the morning, I get up with the lark. And when I'm walking down the street, you can hear the girls remark, hello, Patsy Fagan, you can hear the girls all cry, hello, Patsy Fagan, you're the apple of my eye, you're a decent boy from Ireland that no one can deny, you're a harum scarum, devil may care decent Irish boy. Well, the day that I left Ireland was many years ago. I left my home in Antrim where the pigs and praties grow. But since I left old Ireland, it's always been my plan to let you people see that I'm a decent Irishman. Hello, Patsy Fagan, you can hear the girls all cry. Hello, Patsy Fagan, you're the apple of my eye. You're a decent boy from Ireland that no one can deny. You're a harum scarum, devil may care decent Irish boy. Now if there's one among you who would like to marry me, I'll take you to my little home across the Irish Sea. I'll dress you up in satin, I'll do the best I can to let the people see that I'm a decent Irishman. Hello, Patsy Fagan, you can hear the girls all cry. Hello, Patsy Fagan, you're the apple of my eye. You're a decent boy from Ireland that no one can deny. You're a harum scarum, devil may care decent Irish boy. No, that's it.
Lovely. Thanks so much, Anne. That's lovely. Really lovely. We're heading over to Seamus Brogan. Fancy seeing you again so quickly.
Hi. Lovely to see everybody there after a very long absence from Zoom sessions. I've been up to my eyeballs. But anyway, I was lucky enough. Paddy Berry last Sunday made a point of thanking all the people that contributed to the CD and put airs to songs and everything else. And I think as far as all of the people involved, we didn't need thanks. It was an absolute privilege to be asked in the first place and to be involved in Paddy's project. So well done, Paddy, once again. But Paddy sent me two songs, a hurling song and a football song, and to stick airs to. So I'm going to sing the hurling song because Paddy sang a song at the beginning there about the great Nicky Rackard. Well, this song was written by a man from Medlass in South Wexford, and who disagreed with Paddy. He said that the best hurler, Ireland's greatest hurler, he called the song, and it was Bobby Record. So I put the air to it, and I'm going to try and sing it now. You hurling men of Wexford, please do not take offence. Neither will you Leinster men if you have any sense. Do not be offended with the next few words I pen, when I say that Bobby Record is the king of hurling men. He won every hurling honour which the game it can bestow. With the famous Wexford champions, he won 9 cups in a row. He wore the Wexford jersey and the Leinster jersey too, the highest hurling honours conferred on but a few. He met the stars of Leinster and the greats of Connacht too, the brightest stars of Munster, and each one he did subdue. When he met the famous Christy Ring, what was never done before, for he held the hurling wizard for 2 hours without a score. Tipperary may boast of Stakeham and Cork of Christy Ring. The brothers dial from sweet Moonkind, their praises they did sing. Limerick's own Mick Mackey, an artist with the ball, but Wexford's Bobby Record is the greatest of them all. His fame it spread to far and wide, from Thurles to Croke Park. How we also thrilled our exiled in the Polo Grounds, New York. Men have done some noble deeds where the bombs and bullets crash, but Bobby thrills some thousands with a piece of Wexford ash. But alas, he had an accident, I heard with fear and dread. A rumour said he'd lose his leg, well, this is what I said. I'd give my leg to Bobby and would never heed the pen, just to see him swing a hurley in Croke Park once again. To give an exhibition, as he often did before, when he'd meet the Munster champions or Kilkenny by the north. I visited him in hospital as he lay there in his bed. When I asked him if he'd hurl again, well, this is what he said. I don't know yet, I hope I will, but maybe I'll be lame. I'm proud to hurl for Wexford, for I love to play the game. Not to win a medal or to wear a Leinster crown, but for our faithful followers who never let us down. there would not be much honour if we played to empty stands. Where would there be the glamour if we didn't hear the bands? Or see the thousands swaying from canal to railway wall? Or watch the Wexford colours waving proudly over all? Croke Park would be a dismal place without the Wexford roar. When the dashing Wexford forwards are fighting for a score. I said goodbye to Bobby, as much pain he did endure. That Bobby Rackard's spirit, the great hurler from Rathnure. I hope and pray I'll see the day while on the Cusick stand, to see Bobby in the line out behind the Artin band. Then he will hear the Wexford cheer, 'twill be a mighty roar. It will echo and re-echo to his homestead in Rathnure. Now all good sportsmen, good and true, will agree with me, I'm sure, that he's Ireland's greatest hurler, Bobby Rackard from Rathnure. So, as I said there, that was written by Joe Fortune from Maid Lass, and he added two more lines, but they weren't included in the song. And the last lines he added were, I made my will, it's simple, with only one request. A Wexford Hurley on my coffin and Wexford colours on my chest. So there you go. That's what he thought about the Wexford team.
Lovely, Seamus. Lovely.
Well,
Great song. Thank you. Well, we're going to head to Alberta. It's great to see you again, Alberta. You got home safely after.
Yes, I just got home safely. But it's good to be here, and it's lovely to see, especially it's wonderful to see everybody that I saw over the weekend, and wonderful to see everybody that I didn't see over the weekend. So I am just going to sing the song that Paddy had asked me to learn, although there's another assignment. So I'll start working on that one next, but this one is called Banos Bright Blue Bay, and the air that I put with it is called Cush Leak. And so the air came out of Songs of the People, and this song was written by Paddy's great uncle. Yes? All right. I rode through many an Irish scene where nature fairest dwells. Through sweet of August vale I've been, and fair Killarney's fells, but fresher far my memory keeps, unseen more loved than they, where Banos buried city lies beneath that bright blue bay. And often in the harvest time, when rose the harvest moon, I've listened to the church bells chime and heard the reapers tune. On Banos bar those murmurs deep make music all the day,
They say the ancient city stood long centuries ago, where now we watch the faithful flood and the bright blue waters flow. From Kieran's ancient ivied shrine to Banos abbey grey, from feathered cliffs to far-gone mines, the buried city lay. One midnight as the moon went down behind Rathdownall's hill, and all the merry-making town full many a feast did fill. The stormy sea above it broke, and since that fatal day, the buried city never walked beneath that bright blue bay. And now they say that it doth lie beneath its shroud of foam, and to mourn their ancient city's loss, the peasants love to roam. And often in the eventime, those phantom shrieks, they say, are heard beneath the tranquil waves of Banos' bright blue bay. I have roved through many an Irish scene, where nature fairest dwells, through woodland scenes and valleys green, through mountains, lakes, and fells. But fresher far my memory keeps one scene more loved than they, where Banos' buried city lies beneath that bright blue bay.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, Paddy.
Lovely, Alberta.
Lovely, Alberta. Lovely. And it was great seeing you last Sunday. I hope we'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Oh, I hope.
Absolutely. Well, before we head to Vincent and Marianne, I've popped the next three in. Joe O'Connor, Tommy Collins and Marianne. So we'll go over to Marianne McAleer. So we'll go over to Vincent and Marianne. How are you guys?
How are we doing?
I'll ask you to unmute yourself there, Vincent.
There we go. That's us.
How are we doing?
First of all, I know I'd like to congratulate Paddy on his book, but we sort of have a couple of problems. One of them is the pandemic, and the other is a protocol. I don't know when we're going to get it, but Rachel has one organised word anyway, and it's on its way, but protocol is probably going to delay it. So anyway, thanks, Paddy, and congratulations. Because of the protocol, I don't know any songs out of it. I haven't seen the book yet, so I can't sing anything out of the book. So I'm going to pop over the border now to Wicklow. So, in the year of 1798, a sorrowful tale the truth unto you I relate, of 36 heroes no world were left to be seen. By a false information, they were shot on Dunlavin Green. Bad luck to you, Saunders, for you did their lives betray. You said a parade would be held on that very day. Our drums they did rattle, our pipes they did sweetly play. Surrounded we were and privately marched away. Quite easy they led us like prisoners through the town, to be shot on that lane where first we were forced kneel down. Such grief and such sorrow there never before was seen. When the blood ran in streams down the dikes of Dunlavin Green. There's young Matty Farrell had plenty of cause complain. Likewise the two Duffys who were shot down on the plain. And young Andy Ryan, his mother distracted will run for the loss of her darling, her own beloved eldest son. Now some of the boys to the hills they are going away. Some of them were shot, but more of them are going to sea. Mickey Dwyer in the mountain, to Saunders he owes a spleen. For the loss of their brothers who were shot on Dunlavin Green. Bad luck to you, Saunders, bad luck may you never shun. May the widow's curse melt you like snow in the sun. May the cries of the orphans, their murmurs you cannot screen. For the loss of their fathers who were shot on Dunlavin Green. There we are.
Great song.
Lovely. Thanks, Vincent. Here,
Right, over to Marianne now.
boss. Hi, Marianne.
All right, what about yourself?
Oh, we're good. We're all good. Great to see you.
I was out in the command again.
Out gallivanting.
Out gallivanting, not by Vincent, but by a whole heap of women. Right. Far away across the ocean, beneath an Indian star, lives a little dark-eyed maiden on the coast of Malabar. In the harbor where we anchored, I can see her shy and sweet, with a blossom on her bosom and the wild waves at her feet. I can see the crowded cities, the palm trees green and tall,
and that starry night she danced with me inside those city walls. She gave a little wishful glance as she looked across the bay and whispered, if you love me, why do you sail away? I must go, my little dark eyes. I must go, my Indian star. But I'll come again and love you on the coast of Malabar. In my dreams I oftentimes wander to that far-off Indian sea, and the days we spent together, they come back again to me. I can see the crowded cities, the palm trees on the shore, and that little dark-eyed maiden, she's there no more, no more. Fare thee well, my little dark eyes. Fare thee well, my Indian star. In my dreams I will live forever on the coast of Malabar. Thank you.
Mighty Mary.
Rachel, this is Jerry. I have to just say a few words to Paddy. Is that okay?
Of course.
I want to tell Paddy, in 1983, I was in San Francisco, and Paddy was in New England, up around Boston or Connecticut, collecting wicks for songs. And I remember he sent me a copy of that book, and I'm very appreciative of that, and I want to congratulate him again. Now, that's nearly 40 years ago, and I want to tell you, Paddy has changed. He got younger looking. No, he has changed. He got younger looking the last 40 years. Okay, I have to go, and I want to thank you all and thank Paddy as well, and everybody.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
Take
That's
care. Look
lovely.
after yourself.
Mind yourself.
Actually,
That's lovely. Thanks, Jerry. It's
Bye.
good to hear all those lovely stories. 40 years, Paddy. Wow. Okay, so where are we heading to now? We have Joe O'Connor. How are you, Joe?
Hi, Rachel. Not too bad. On Armistice Day in 1998, Uachtar na HÉireann unveiled the Peace Tower of Ireland in Flanders, a war memorial to soldiers of Ireland from North and South, Catholic and Protestant, who fought and died in the war. On that same day, the Lowlands of Flanders was written by a great friend of mine from Liverpool, the late Bruce Scott. And today is Bruce's wife, Dot's birthday, so I'll do the Lowlands of Flanders. In the Lowlands of Flanders, in a place that's called Messine, a peace tower of Ireland stands proud and serene to commemorate the soldiers who bravely fought and died. Now their sons and their daughters can honour them with pride. They sailed from old Ireland, a green isle across the sea, to the Lowlands of Flanders to set small nations free from their own divided island, where so many were oppressed, to the Lowlands of Flanders, where so many lie at rest. They came from every country, every corner of the world. In the Lowlands of Flanders, into battle they were hurled. But they did their soldiers' duty as they fought beside the French
in the chaos and the carnage, in the nightmare of the trench. They came from every county in their troubled native land, from the banks of the Liffey and the wide Shannon Grand. From the banks of the Lee and the Lagan they did come, and they died in their thousands on the banks of the Somme. There were men of all religions there who perished in that war. They were Catholic and Protestant from their own divided show. And some went home returning to their own dear native land. They were shunned and forsaken, just a poor forgotten band. Many years have now passed over since the ending of that war, a war to end all conflict and bring peace forevermore. Today, Irishmen from north and south together live in peace in the memory of their forefathers who fought that war might cease. In the Lowlands of Flanders stands an Irish Tower of Peace to commemorate the soldiers who fought that war might cease. Their graves are there in thousands, where the red poppies bloom, where the flower of Irish manhood all went marching to their doom.
Well done, Joe.
Lovely, Joe.
Always
lovely.
Brilliant, Joe. Always brilliant.
Great. The nature of the night is that we're not going to get to everybody, and that's just I hate when we can't, but the next session we'll put whoever we missed or didn't get to the top of the session. So the next two before we go to Paddy to finish off the evening is Tommy Collins and Marianne. So we'll head over to Tommy. Hi, Tommy.
Hello, Rachel.
Great to see you.
I think I'll change the tempo. I have a story to tell you.
Lovely.
It's about these two women living near our place at home. Lizzie and Bridget were their names. And I'm going to tell you what they did for 45 years. Well, they escorted each other to first mass every Sunday morning, and they walked the 3 miles over the road, and they talked the 3 miles, and they talked all through mass, and they walked and they talked the 3 miles home. Now, this particular Sunday morning, they arrived into mass, and there was a squad of youngsters at mass, and they were in a fierce hurry, so they were playing a match the same day. And the minute mass was over, there was a stampede for the door. And poor old Lizzie and Bridget were separated in the melee. And Bridget couldn't find Lizzie until she went outside the chapel gate. And lo and behold, there was Lizzie standing in the footpath talking to these two returned Yanks. And your man was a fine hunk of a Yankee man, 6'4", in a white shirt and a big cigar the size of a potstick. And you want a damn late Yankee woman she was, in short sleeves, and she had a big glossy bag hanging from her elbow. You know, if you were stuck, you could put 2 bales of straw into it. And she had a husky voice, and all Bridget could hear was, now and again, from the Yankee woman, I guess that figures. No, Bridget was a well-read woman, and she didn't want to be seen standing outside the chapel gate with her mouth open, so she struck for home. And she wasn't long gone when Lizzie caught up with her. And of course, the first question out of Bridget was, who in the name of God were them two swanks you were talking to outside the chapel gate this morning? Well, Lizzie told her, God, You won't believe it when I tell you, there are two Yanks home from America, cousins of my father's living in New York. And wait till I tell you, they said they'd call up to see me on Tuesday. Well, Bridget said, God, they'll bring fierce trouble on you. You know what trouble, said Lizzie, they won't cause me any trouble. Well, said Bridget, won't you have to wheel out the bicycle in the morning? You'll have to go into town and you'll have to buy meat for them and you'll have to buy cakes for them. God, the devil wouldn't feed them Yanks when they're around. You don't have to tell me at all about the Yanks, says Bridget. My father and mother, God rest their souls, they had Yanks home from America in 2003, and they're not in the better of it yet. Anyway, listen, they won't cause me any trouble at all. I'll tell you what I do. I have a gander left in my hand since Christmas, and when I go home, I'll catch him, and I'll neck him, and I'll pluck him, and I'll gut him, and I'll stuff him and cook him and have him all ready there for the Yanks when they come. Anyway, Lizzie went home and the first thing she did was she caught the gander and she necked him and she plucked him, she gutted him and she stuffed him and she cooked him, and there he was all ready for the Yanks when they would arrive. Well, Tuesday evening game, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, no trace of the Yanks. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, no Yanks arrived. Anyway, the following Sunday morning, poor Lizzie struck off over the road for Mass. And of course, the first woman she met on the road was Bridget. And the first question out of Bridget was, did your visitors arrive? God, said Lizzie, they never darkened my door. Well, said Bridget, what did I tell you? And tell me, I suppose, that bird went bad in your hands. God knows, said Lizzie, the bird didn't go bad with me at all. And I suppose you had to give him away. So, says Bridget, God knows, said Lizzie, I didn't give him away at all. And so, what in the name of God did you do with the bird? Well, I ate him, she said, myself. What, said Bridget, the whole gander? Oh, yes, said Bridget, and no more bother to me. Well, Lord save us again, said Bridget, when I hear you saying these things, you knock the heart out of me. Well, so what harm is it, says Lizzie, that I couldn't eat what I reared myself from a goose egg? Harm, says Bridget? Well, you're an ignorant woman. You know, if you fell down in the road in front of me this minute, you'd be below in the lowest hobs of hell before I could call a priest for you. What with pride, covetousness, lust, anger, gluttony, envy, and sloth, the 7 deadly sins, and there was gluttony in the middle of it. Well, poor old Lizzie froze with fright. She stiffened up, and when she went into Mass, she couldn't hear a word the priest was saying with the fright she got and the worry about the mortal sin. Lizzie went home that night and she couldn't sleep with twisting and turning and all the worry about her sins. Monday night came, Tuesday night came, Wednesday night came, no sleep. And if luck would have it, on Thursday, we had confessions for the first Fridays. And of course, Lizzie struck off for confession. And when she landed into the church, there was a big crowd in front of her. And the priest was in a fierce hurry, and he was letting them in, and he was letting them out. And he was in a fierce hurry because there was a play above in the hall the same night, and he was fierce anxious to get away to see it. And God, with all the pushing and shoving, God, it was no place for a woman in mortal sin. But eventually, her turn came and she went into confession. And before she could start off her own rigmarole, the priest asked her, "How long since your last confession?" "Oh, this day months is lazy. Don't you know I'm doing the 9 first Fridays for the past 45 years. Well, said the priest, I'm delighted to hear such a confession. And tell me, what do you remember since your last confession?" "Well," said Lizzie, "I committed one of those 7 deadly sins, and you know, with all the pushing and shoving outside, it's gone clean out of my head. You'll have to give me a minute to think." "Oh, yes, I have it, Father. I committed adultery." "Well, glory be to God," said the priest. "I'm aggrieved to hear such a confession this evening, especially coming from a woman in the autumn of her years, a woman that did the 9 first Fridays for the past 45 years. Well, tell me, woman, what came over you to commit such a sin?" "Well, to like this," said Lizzie, "there he was up on the kitchen table, nice and brown, with the 2 legs cocked up in front of me. And I took a bite out of one leg, and glory be to God, the devil wouldn't hold me." Chin of it.
Oh,
Well, that was
straight off to
fantastic.
you, Tommy.
You certainly did change the mood, Tommy.
And Tommy.
Brilliant.
Oh, straight to confession for you tomorrow, Tommy.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Thanks. So we're going to head over to Marianne before we head back to Paddy for the end of the evening. Hi, Marianne.
Hello.
Great to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there last weekend.
We missed you.
But it's great to see your face today, Paddy. So we've had enough humour for one night. There's only one song I could sing, really. It's one that I learned from Paddy at Scolegshire many years ago in Clonmel, and it was written by his great uncle, and you all know it, the Bano Mother's Lament. So I'll sing this for you. The beans are flowering on Bano Moor, and the corn is sprouting far nance the door. Oh, but who's to reap them if you to go? Oh, weary on it and weary o. Now breed a lana to strike in one, and it's time the neighbours should all be gone. 'Tis short your sleep till the cock will crow. Weary on it and weary o. I'll leave you finish the 8 and reel, for the more I see of it, the more I feel all the pride of Ireland so long ago. Oh, weary on it and weary o. Now, James a Cushla, we're tired to pray, and a single decade is all we'll say. The boat is early and the clock is slow. Oh, weary Beside the Grishak I sit and doze. I darn their stockings and I air their clothes, all starched and hardened and white as snow. Oh, weary on it and weary o. Oh, do she rolling, 'tis morning now. I will light the fire and I'll milk the cow, but I'll never call you again, I know. Oh, weary on it and weary o. I watched them waving up Carrickhill. I heard them crying and I hear them still. The summer sunshine has turned to snow. Oh, weary on it and weary o.
Beautiful, Marianne.
Thank you.
Gorgeous, Marianne. Gorgeous. What a wonderful song. Okay, so we've come to the end of our night and we're going to head over to our special guest, Paddy, and let Paddy finish out the evening. Hi, Paddy.
Yeah. Yes, Rachel, and thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. You know, I only came down off cloud 9 last Thursday evening after the weekend.
Back up there again.
Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to start again as soon as the dawn comes in. I'll be up on cloud 9 again after tonight, because 'tis a great night we're having. And isn't it wonderful for this new invention called Zoom? Sure, we're singing more than ever we did. And I want to thank here all the people who came to Wexford last week, including Tommy there that I see in the corner, and many more people as well. And thank you all very much. Wonderful. What I'm going to sing now is a song I learned back in 1977. It's a song from the north of Ireland, not north of Ireland, but northern county. I think it's Cavan or somewhere. And it first appeared in a publication that Courthouse brought out in 1977 called, what was the name? Traditional Songs and Singers. I learned it's called The Price of My Pig. In the year 29, when the weather was fine, I straight took me way to the fears, to the sweet fare of Trim, for to sell a swine. It was my design. She was plump, fat and fair, and complete in each limb. Now this pig was as mild as a lamb or a child. You could whip it all over the globe with a twig. But the truth for to tell, I sold it right well. 310 was the price that I got for my pig. With me touring I added-y, touring I added-y, touring I added-y, fun-did-y. I clapped the cash to me tie, put a glass to me eye. Through the streets I did fly like a sporting young buck, till a sporting young dame that belonged to the game, oh, she up to me came, to be sure, for good luck. She gave me the wink to go in for a drink. She inveigled me then to dance famous as jig. And 'twas at the wheel round that she slipped her hand down, and she left me quite scarce of the price of my pig. With me touring I added-y, touring I added-y, touring I added-y, fun-did-y. Like a man in despair, when I lost me share, I went tearing her hair, me hair seeking her up and down, each corner and lane, but it was all in vain. Sure, a sprig of the damsel could never be found. To Navan next day, I straight took my way, when I heard people say of a fair being in Trim. But when I got there, I was loaded with care. You may think I had just took me walk, but in vain. The first to roll in was Tatter Jack Flynn. We danced a few steps of a nice double jig, thinking that by and by that I'd cast me eye on the jade that robbed me of the price of my pig. With me touring I addedy, touring I addedy, touring I addedy, fun diddy I. Oh, be Tara, be Screen, be the Bog of Armine, be Paddy McGee, be the High Hill of Hoth, be the church, be the bell, be the big book of Kells. Why to swear any more? Do you know that I'm loath? If the Lord of Mayo, he came to my woe, and I'm sure he would come in a chasery gig and search Ireland round till that jade would be found, and he'd clapper in pound for the price of my pig. With me touring I addedy, touring I addedy, touring I addedy, fun diddy I. But now since it's so, till homeward I'll go, my shuttle I'll throw, and from drink I'll refrain. I stick to my loom while youth's in me bloom, but I'll never be caught be a trump in the game. So come what it will, I surely will her kill, and I'll have the best action of Salvary's will. And for the transaction, I'll have satisfaction. I'll tramp her jade bones for the price of my pig. With me touring I addedy, touring I addedy, touring I addedy, fun diddy I. Woo! Anyway, that's it. That's it. Wonderful. Roll out those clouds, like climb up again.
Lovely, Paddy. What a way to finish. Paddy, I'd just like to thank you on behalf of everybody for a wonderful evening tonight and for the songs, for this wonderful collection. It is, as Seamus said, it was an honour to be part of it and to be asked. And thank you for the lovely launch last week. It was great to see everybody and get together after such a long, horrible time without seeing people. So it was great. How do people get, if people on the call don't have the book, Paddy? Will I get them to message?
Yes, please, and thanks for advertising it there.
Yeah, no, it's
you'll find it in bookshops, I suppose.
And it's
yeah.
available through Facebook as well
books.
in their little store.
Brilliant, Gavin, brilliant. So anybody who has any problems getting a copy, you can email me and I'll pass on the details. But yeah, well worth getting this.
Gavin, where's the little store?
Ronan Berry has a little post on Facebook with the Facebook store link.
Okay.
Brilliant. So I just want to thank you all for joining us this evening for the Courthouse Singing Sessions. Thanks to the Courthouse Arts Centre for supporting the event and to Paddy for being our special guest tonight. You can all unmute yourselves and say good night and hello and goodbye to each other. It's wonderful to see you all, and mind yourselves and keep safe until next month. Go on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, lads.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Night, all.
Bye, Nihua.
Great night.
Good
How are you?
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice.
We're getting bigger.